but here I am. Let's see how it is in the live stream. If we are live, let me check. It seems to be excellent connection. Yeah, I was a bit abstracted, which can happen if you're playing around with synthesizers. You can be abstracted, from derailed. I thought, let's make another bass groove, and I use BLADE-2 now, and was a bit tweaking. And this one is a bit too obvious. Yeah, it's better. So yeah, BLADE-2 for the bass, a bit of drums, and yeah, I hope, I guess also that some of you already checked out this baby here, BLADE-2. It's out now. You see introduction bank has already 106 presets, which are a combination of the new presets and the some of the original ones. For instance, this Vox Scream is an older one. But there are plenty new presets, and somebody asked me how many presets were in BLADE-2. Well, I had to check it out, and it's about 1,500 presets in total, and 275 new presets with from BLADE-2. So if you go to the bank manager, you can select it up here. You see we have the introduction bank, which is a collection of all kind of presets on board. Then you see favorites, which you can put your favorite presets, and it starts with 002 Pass 01, which are new presets of BLADE-2. And you see I have some of them, I give them a star because they also appear in the introduction bank. Okay. And okay, 1 second. Yeah, then we have the synth bank, which has all the synth sounds. You can see a spacey sound. This one uses chord mode, by the way. Here with the tuned noise, you go to the play mode. 5 chords are played. Cool, isn't it? Yeah, and then down here when it starts with 101 synth 1, these are from the first BLADE-1, and they are tagged, and some volume corrections has been made. Of course, because they changed the sound engine, they only sound better compared to BLADE-1, especially because of the reverb. Now with BLADE-1, with the first release, reverb was maybe a bit of a CPU issue at that time. Currently, it's not an issue at all. So, so you have inside BLADE-2 a top-notch reverb, and these are presets which are from the original Blade. Some very cool stuff. Yeah, and then let's see. So 1,500 in total, and it will be growing. So we received presets from Additive. They are very special. They're pretty much for more experimental music. Let's play a few of them. These need to be checked. I think these are very good for. He mentioned this. Let me see. Okay, now you see I'm making a mess of the screens here. So let me see what he told about the audition bank. Okay. Sorry for messing up. So let's see. Always on top. Okay. What Audition does say. He does mention Yeah, it's dark ambient and black gaze genre. Ambient metal subgenre, so melody or experimental stuff. And let's play a few presets. I still need to check them on volume and issues and tagging if everything is okay. But this is called Aardmannen. So I simply play a few presets from this bank from Additive. There's something coming out from Lord of the Rings. Sounds like some nasty trolls. So I think this bang is pretty much very interesting for people who are doing some more experimental music, or simply if you're doing a lot of game music for game things. Okay. Yeah, really, it really shows how diverse this sound engine is. This is one of my favorites. Thorn, Krat. Really scary sound. Yeah, so this will be added someday to the BLADE-2. I think Special Bank. It's a very different taste in terms of sounds, but definitely people were looking for this, and especially in the more different ambient, dark ambient music styles, or indeed the game people who make background music for games. Okay, because yeah, as I mentioned, it's totally different from the sounds you hear in the factory patches, although which can sound very sweet. So yeah, totally different sound again. Okay, let's see the chat room. There was one preset I wanted to. Yeah, this is one very nice Chord Breach from Jamal. I think it's one of the original ones. I'm not sure if this one is from his bank. Chord Breach. No, that's originally run from the original Blade. Yeah, weird sound, isn't it? This is the chord mode, one of the later presets. Simply to show you what you can do is this chord memory. Okay, let's see in the chat room. Okay, I'm checking what's people. Somebody lost a preset. Yeah, what is, by the way, which may be nice to mention, if you lost a preset, it's, well, could be that if you delete something, that it's still there. Because if you go here to BLADE-2 on the bank folder, which is in Applications, Papen BLADE-2 bank folder, or on Documents, Papen BLADE-2 bank folder, and if you delete something, so let's see if I go to this bank, you see here, this is a preset which is a backup. So if you change something, the program makes a backup .bka1, and if you change the name from it, it's essentially the preset is back. Because if you change the volume, it always change anything in a preset, it makes a backup of it. So if you look here, you see FXP are all the normal presets, but if something has .bk1, you can rename it and get your preset back. So maybe it's still there. Okay, some other news before I dive more into BLADE-2 is that a few weeks ago, I received, one second, a preset bank from, no, I don't want to butcher the name again because I'm so good in pronouncing this name wrongly. Here we go, because inside Vecto, we have now a Sanguine project. He did send me this preset already a few weeks ago, but we were so busy with BLADE-2 that I couldn't get to it. You can download it from the info section below the YouTube video. It's not checked on tagging and volume, so but we will upload this very soon to the early bank presets, and there's some very nice presets on board. I checked today. For instance, this is very interesting. You have the beatbox things. So he really created a drum using the percussion sounds. Cool, isn't it? Oh, let me see this one. Nice, isn't it? So he uses the percussion waveforms, re-triggering here in the Vecto. Let's play a few presets. Yeah, there's more a fix blurb. Very nice effect sounds. Yeah, it's some very nice sounds. Okay, play another one. Most likely this one is also tempo based. Let's see how it goes as a beat. Yeah, nice, isn't it? So it's a bank with 122 presets. I did not check the volumes and tagging, but I will upload very soon to the early bird presets, which you can find on the homepage. If you go to the top section, you can see presets, and there we add the early bird presets, which are essentially presets which are not yet in the factory patches. And he already created some very nice sounds, and now he added also for Vecto some very, very nice presets. And just let's play another one. And of course, people who own the Explorer 6 not only own now BLADE-2, but also own Vecto, which was released some time ago, but it's a very nice synthesizer, has a very different texture again to our other products, and that's something which makes the bundle very interesting, because yeah, they all have their own character. Okay, so now let's go back to BLADE-2. Where is it? Okay. Okay, now here we have BLADE-2 again. Okay, yeah. So give me a second. I need to check the chat room. Okay, well, not particularly a question. So yeah, I guess you played around with it, and thing is, of course, I made this short introduction video, and there I show also the easy page. And what is the case? I already have a variation now, so and then you need to save it, and you could do it save folder preset in folder, and then you pick here a folder. In this case, I pick favorite, and of course make it a different name. Otherwise, you override a factory patch. So so I would call this variation. So here we go. And then you see in favorites, this is now the preset. It's in the favorites. Okay, one thing you need to keep in mind, if you use the easy page, if I go back here now to this preset, then you will notice that the setting of the harmonic this is all still is memorized. So this influences, of course, the front page. So you see here that things are changed, and if I go here to the manager again, so look here in the odd, even, and timbre. Let's see what happens if I go to the easy page and change things there. Then most likely you'll see that in the other page things are also changed, but I don't see it. Okay, that could be an idea to make it visual, but my point is, if you do something in the easy page, it's memorized. Okay, let's go back to the manager. So we're working, next step is making BLADE-2 Anchor as compatible. So if you have complete control or machine that you can, that it will pop up in your software. The other thing I wanted to show you, if I go simply to the default, is because we didn't discuss this wave analyze thing. So if I would load in a sample now, load, And this is raw data. You see, raw data is in here. To audition it, so I can here change what I pick out. But this is the range where I will make this way, and down here it appears. Okay, you don't hear it now. So what you need to do is go to the harmonator or additive and select there this user wave. There it is. And there's an outer extract. Now you see it's multiple cycles, so it's maybe a bit too long. You can audition still the sample preview. Oh. Okay, that doesn't work as I should do. Well, preview is essentially without having, so now I pick the, for me that's more logical to select here the user wave. But here, it plays extract. If you hit that, sorry, preview, it previews the sample or the waveform, essentially the waveform. So now I need to zoom in. Okay, then you need to, and that's a thing which Jon will update. If you zoom in, that you still, the selection you have selected for the waveform will still be visible. So now I put it again in the middle. Make it a bit shorter. Now you see it's one cycle. So this preview. Now here you can set the note key entry. Maybe that helps. Set to note. Then it makes it different. Yeah, now it's a bit too high. So now note C2. That's correct. Now here you zoom in. So it's a very long waveform, but I only take a certain area to make one cycle. So, and here simply by, without putting off the preview, it's inside here. And then I can edit it. Well, this is something we still need to, I need to make a video about it because this is a bit more complex because you can have a, if I zoom out, you see it's a very long waveform or sample of a waveform. And I would have preview difference, the whole sample. Let me see how that works out. This is the long sample. So, okay, maybe I should take something else. Load another sample, but I need to create a video about this because let's take something other. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, that's a good one. What should I, if I have, I need to check if I have new samples. Oh, no, I need to check if I find one. I'm in the wrong folder. No. So I hit preview and I hit the note. It's the bass drum, so that's a bit harder to one would make it. So now, but for the example, now I took a waveform, put off the, okay. So that makes the engine from it, although the preview. But that's how it works. But I need to make really a video about it because you have different options. You can here edit it takes a zero crossing, of course, but there you can shorten it. Let me see. Let's give one other try. If I find very fast a sample. Oh, that will be maybe fun. Listen to this. Preview, I put it on. Gregorians. Zoom in. So from this, I could take a static wave if maybe it doesn't produce anything useful, but wave start position. Okay, I messed it up now. Wave length start position. Okay. Okay, it jumps too hard. Okay, now you see it. It's very hard to get something useful from something like this. Waves. So this is, and now you hear. This is what the engine makes from this little piece. No, it's not so easy. Wavelengths. So you can lock it and then move around a bit. No, now it's gone. Yeah, it sounds interesting, but not in the way. And you see, each time it updates here, but what you get here in the user wave, if I put off the preview, some weird noise. So it's not easy. I should make a video maybe next week when we did a little improvements in, you see, because the range is gone if you zoom in. So there's some little things we can improve here so that it makes it easier to create your own waveforms. Still, it remains a static waveform. There are, so when I go here to timbre, which is then this vocal, this is really, you hear a vocal sound. And this is, of course, analyzed from a long static and then it's easier. And if you know then the pitch, then you can take a waveform, because if the pitch is not the correct one, you might take another different waveform from it. So it's not an easy job to do. Therefore, we have, of course, a lot of nice sounds and waveforms on board. Yeah, you see, like this 10cc choir, it's vocal number 4, and it did remind me on the 10cc. So you have the character, and then you need to tweak and use unison to make it a full sound. There are a few of these criers, but the base of it, let me see, I'm not sure. Maybe this one uses the vowel filter, yeah, which is an. Yeah, about additive. There are also synthesizers. If you go back to the wave analyze, we loaded this long sample. So you have this long sample, and then what they create, but that's a whole different concept. Then they create over this whole sample, let's say 128 waveforms, which play after each other. And then that is more resynthesis. The only problem with resynthesis is that you still have the same problem. So if you have then, for instance, preview, you would have this resynthesize and doesn't play the sample back, but makes that this, for instance, would be 2000 single waves played behind each other. Only the problem is if you also with resynthesis, if you play lower, the tempo would be the same, so it would not lose the tempo, but the formant, the sound is then still as not as it should be, because it doesn't transpose the harmonics. So that's the whole thing with resynthesis, is that resynthesis is very CPU intensive, and therefore most people simply use samples, because if you sample a piano, yeah, that's more CPU friendly than doing resynthesis, because with resynthesis you want to change the sound afterwards. And that's another story, of course, which is then again very complex than this piano. If you would add ripples to this piano, it would not be a piano anymore. So that's the problem a bit with resynthesis, is that sampling is far more effective in terms of end results and in terms of CPU. So, so this concept of BLADE-2 is really resynthesis in a different way. It takes one character, and then you combine the characters. Okay, so now I found one. Preview. Let me see. Zoom out. Yeah, this is a choir sound, but the wavelength is not okay. Vocal-like sound. So I loaded a arc type of short thing. So that's the way to work here, to capture the character. And therefore, so if you go back here to default preset. Okay, why is it not going back? Oh, because of the preview. Okay. Okay, this awful. So this is a static, more sour waveform, but if you use the timbre and go to the right, then it generates more the the timbres, and then also the static waveforms, which are all kind of things. So this one sounds a bit like a bell type thing. So, and these characters, if you go to the additive, and also there I can select this timbre wave 75, where is it? Yeah, if I make, that's the difficult thing with additive, is I cannot from fantasy or from bass create a sound like this. This is most likely also something analyzed, because when I take for instance set B. Okay, and I go to B. This is a sinus waveform. I can draw here, but you don't have this sound of this what was loaded in set A. Well, so it's very difficult to create a different waveform. So analyzing a waveform and then edit it is the cool way to go. Yeah, all are single cycle reproduce waveforms. So single cycle wave is essentially what is the base of BLADE-2. Yeah, and then what I mentioned is you have the cool thing about BLADE-2, and that's the different approach compared to resynthesis, is that BLADE-2 is far more a synthesizer. With resynthesis, you like to maybe to reproduce a piano or orchestral things, and yeah, that's not the thing we were after. We simply want to use additive for synth sounds and making new sounds. So it's just like this preset, which is the 4 harmonics, which I showed also last week. Here it uses morph between A and B. So it morphs from B to A. But some of the partials, the harmonics, have a different tuning in B. So you go here to tune, and you see that some partials have a different tuning compared to A. So the 8 partial is 10 times the original harmonic, the fundamental, and in wave B, it's 22. So therefore you hear this glide. And this is a typical artifact, essential, which I use as a sound tool. Because if you don't want to have, if you simply want to go from one waveform to another without a tuning, then you pick mix, then it goes from A to B, but you don't hear the glides. And with the glide, I found it cool. So this is an artifact because you morph between from one waveform to another, and the 16 partials, which each of the additive wave has, is then has a different layout, which makes that you really morph also not only in the amplitude but also in the tuning. So that's very interesting. And I thought, okay, that's cool. And I also added in the Syn bank an additional thing to it, fall, which I saved last time, I believe, or fall harmonics analog, which I used the analog oscillator below it to make really a big stack sound. Yeah, good question. Can you show it how to add vibrato to the modulation wheel? Sure, it's in the modulation section. There we have a pitch LFO, a free LFO, a pitch LFO. Inside here you already can do this. So let me go to I default preset, or I could take here a lead sound, maybe. Yeah, that sounds a bit. That's a nice lead sound. It reminds me, maybe for the people who know Vangelis, maybe recalls it as a Vangelis lead sound. Now this one uses legato, and now coming back to this pitch LFO. So in the modulation wheel, you see the pitch LFO, and you see the amount, and there is an amount control. So the amount I can shut down and use the modulation wheel only for increasing the modulation. Or use modulation aftertouch. That's a cool thing, which John did. I asked him, hey John, modulation wheel, can you not combine the modulation wheel with aftertouch? Yeah, why not? And John simply does this. So there's a modulation wheel aftertouch, and aftertouch is if your keyboard has aftertouch, that it adds vibrato. Of course, so this is, so you can also use something else. So expression, which is here, this slider. You see my keyboard, the slider here. I'm not sure if you can see my thumb on the left side, but I can also use expression. So I prefer, of course, the modulation wheel aftertouch combination. So this is then the amount, and the normal amount is more the basic. So in this preset, go to the original, I have a little bit of basic amount, and then I can increase it. Then I use the pitch band, which is in the play mode. Here you see pitch band 3 semi, which I like to use so for these little glides. Yeah, very, very nice. The Odd Me lead, it's called. It's also in the introduction bank. Could you have noise only? Is it using noise? Yeah, sure. Then I need to use tune noise. Yeah, that's tune noise. Yeah, the harmonizer is used, I see, in this. So yeah, the many presets on board. The introduction bank is also in the demo bank. The demo version doesn't have the other presets. And yeah, how different it can sound if you simply go to some of the presets. So from this to this, it's such a versatile synthesizer. That's a great word, because yeah, you combine this additive and this XY really makes that you can do some very odd stuff. From this to very nice sounds like this one. Well, this one I used in the introduction video. Kind of plucky percussion sounds. And this one uses in the play mode the chord. And it's so without it. Now what I do is simply 1 octave higher. And then with a little bit of delay. So 2 notes. And you see the second note is 1 octave higher, and it's drums with a bit of. Yeah, noise. It's in this. Noise really is really a nice added thing. Compared to the original Blade, it has this additional noise and oscillator, which really expands the types of sounds you can create. Let me see. There was another one which I played out of the turn. Now let me see where it was. But this one, by the way, makes me think of a 80s SQ, ESQ, and Sonic SQ1. Oh, this one is also Don't Move the Dot. Yeah, it's yeah, you should move it. So I'm just playing a few sounds. Yeah, there is on board distortion. And I believe that this one is detuned. I need to fix this. I don't know how that could happen. Uses the distortion here, goes into the filter, and again inside the 3 FX you have of course the option to have a distortion module. So also distorted sounds are very good possible. Beyond Chill Pad, is that the one I'm looking for? So that's one of the cool thing is that you combine this is the harmonizer, which is a great sound on its own, but combine it with the oscillator. Yeah, the chord memory is a good thing. It's not a learning one. This is more how we do it with Blade, with BLADE-2. In early days, we had Chord with learn mode. Then you would go to Chord and then have learn, and then you played a chord and that was memorized. But now you simply can compose it easier by simply detuning. So the first one cannot be detuned, of course, because that's the root key. And I could pick here a 5, make a sus chord, then this one would be 7, and then we make 12. Then I have a sus chord, And then you can tempo sync. And it's really tempo sync. So if I would play now the beat. So I hit just one note. So yeah, this is a sus4, if I'm not wrong. So that's, you have to control, and even the option to pan the individual notes. So keep in mind, if you used it, if I hit one note, the engine plays 4 notes for me. So the first one and the 4 other ones. So it's a very cool feature, and it's saved within the preset. Yeah, somebody says about the shift semitones. Yeah, I'm not sure what causes it. Yeah, that happens, of course, that you sometimes have a sound and suddenly find out. I don't know where it is. It could be in the harmonizer that or something in the modulation matrix. Nothing is happening there. Pitch envelope. Ah, here it is. Pitch envelope is not okay. I need to fix that one. So in the next update, this lead to space guitar will be overwritten. Maybe somebody noticed already, but normally if something pops up, we easily have a new version out. We will have, of course, soon a new version with some new presets and that kind of things. Okay. Yeah, the ratcheting mode is, of course, very cool. I'm not sure. I did some other sound with it. What was it? Oh, that was last week. We had this one. The ARP. And we use the XY to change the odd even. So this would be normally, for instance, a TB303 alike sound. But the cool thing is then that we use the XY to control not only the filter, but also the odd and even of the harmonics. And by the way, this XY you can also MIDI latch X controller. This is number 14. Okay, and latch right controller. Set it. I do set it. That's easier. 15. Okay. So if I have a beat, I simply could record. Oh, I don't hear the beat. So MIDI latching is very cool. So what I did is simply use the right mouse or click a mouse on the Apple, and I can set a controller, set X or Y to a certain controller. So essentially, oops, I can record this. Okay, let's do a recording. Press record. that's what we recorded. So we go back and you see it here in Cubase that it is recorded as controller. So seems to be only a bit lower, but that's maybe because I didn't record the second controller on its initial setting. So so the X-Ray from that point can be very interesting as a tool for doing things live. So we'll go to the introduction bank again. Let's see if we have synth close to down under. It should be in live mode, not this one. It's a little bit like a didgeridoo, isn't it? No, that's not the one. I can go here in live mode. So even if you see a sound which has replay, like this preset from Jamal, you can say, okay, let's make it live, which means that you can control this XY position live. By the way, if you double click, it goes to the center position. And then that's of course what you can do yourself if you have done a beat and you think, okay, this is cool. To go to dial envelopes. In the upper menu, you can select this and then once again. Yeah, so a MIDI controller XY is cool, definitely, and you can adapt a preset to it. So if I go to the fall harmonics, which you can say down here in live mode, and then you determine how you go down. Or if you go to the wobble banks, let's go to the wobble banks. Oh, that's really dirty. So that should be MIDI time based, but I go to live mode. With this high pass filter. Yeah, tons of options. Yeah, I really should make a video about the that will pop up about the wave, how to best way to analyze your own waveform. But keep in mind, there's so much on board with already inside BLADE-2. Just last example, if you go to the down. So here the additive, it has 4 waves. So if I go to live mode, that will be already an interesting sound. Now I need to record that. So start here and then go down. Let's see. Oh, I only have 2 dots. Ha! Down here you have points too. I need to have 128. I can make it less. 16. No, let's make it 4. So that's what I do. I hear something and then okay, I need to do something with this. And I found waveform B annoying, then I simply make that one a sinus and shut it down. Okay, what I hear, it's, yeah, I hear kind of overtone. Yes, nice sound. Maybe the speed. Okay, in the play mode, I need to shut down the speed. Band up, then I can use in the XY the pitch band to change the speed of the movement. Make it slower. I need to save this one because I find an interesting sound. I need to save this one. Save preset as. This one is originally called. Okay, cancel. I need to put that in the syn bank. Save preset in folder. Okay, synth. Well, this would be number 2. I don't know if it fits. Yeah, it fits. Yeah, your own sounds. What I would do, if you like to create your own sounds, it's a good question. I would do this. Go down here. This is the bank manager. Go down here and new. And you create a new bank. I would say then 000, for instance, my sounds. So, and then it appears. And if you have a nice preset, you simply save that in this folder. But of course, don't forget to back up this folder. So the bank folders you can find in applications, data, Papen, BLADE-2 bank folder, or in documents, Papen, BLADE-2 bank folder. And then you need to save it, of course. If you have a nice preset, you want to save it and back it up. In case of a new system, you want to have them. So that's what you can do in the bank manager. Simply create your own folder and then put your sounds inside there. You can also use favorites, of course. If you have a nice sound, you can combine them in this favorite folder. The max is 256 presets in total. But you have a lot of freedom here. And of course, you can also use copy and paste. So if I go in the bank manager and I say, okay, this sound, this wild organ sound, I can do copy. I go to my sounds and do here, down here, paste. and it does paste this preset here. So that's also possible. Okay, well, it was a bit messy today because maybe I'm a bit tired from all the busy days. Next week I hope to be back again, and then maybe we can show you a bit more presets for BLADE-2, and maybe the video about the wave analyzer is ready, then already usable. We do some little updates, most likely very soon next week. With some, we don't have that much bugs currently. That's a good thing, but little improvements which I did show in this wave menu. If you load in a sample, that if you zoom in, that it stays centered. These little kind of things we will add. So thanks for watching. See you next time, hopefully on the next live stream. Maybe tomorrow afternoon I will be live streaming on Facebook. Sometimes I do it on Facebook. The advantage here in YouTube is, of course, you can always watch the live stream back on in the playlist live streams. Anyhow, enjoy BLADE-2, stay safe, and hope to see you soon, guys.